All right, Sunday morning. It is a brisk 62 degrees here and headed out for an 8-mile run this morning. On the way, I'm going to give you 7 tips for your taper week. 7 things you need to do to make it successful and to make your race your best yet.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
You fight like a younger man. Nothing held back. Admirable, but mistaken.
I'm your huckleberry.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
You're very impressed with yourself, aren't you? I have my moments.
Come with me if you want to live.
Turn this upside down.
All right, 2 miles into the run here. Tip number 1, or step number 1 to planning your taper week. You gotta decrease volume, okay? So what does that mean? You're gonna see numbers anywhere online from 20 to 50%, and that's how much you need to reduce your weekly and daily mileage. That's gonna depend greatly upon the length of your goal race and how long your taper is. I'm getting ready to rear up for the Treasure Coast Half Marathon. That's next week, and I'm dropping down about 20% this week. Now, what does that mean? My long run, I'm cutting almost in half. So last week I ran 14 miles. Today I'm running 8. My weekly runs, I'm gonna cut down by about 20%. I've been doing 4 to 5 miles. I'm dropping down to 3 to 4. Okay, and then one of those weekly runs I'm cutting out completely, and I'm gonna replace that with a run Saturday morning, and it's going to be short. I haven't really decided exactly what yet, but it's either going to be like a short little warm-up at a 1-mile tempo, or maybe just on and off 400, 800 with some speed intervals. Something quick, something short, just to get some leg turnover and remind my legs how that pace feels, so that Sunday morning I don't feel real lethargic. So number 1, volume. You need to decrease it somewhere between 20 and 50%, depending upon the length of your race. All right, number 2 is going to go hand in hand with number 1, and that is intensity. So the whole point and purpose of this week is to conserve and save some energy so that we don't feel totally burnt out on race day. So tone down the intensity. Take it easy. All we're trying to do is get a few miles in this week so that our legs feel like they know what they're doing come Sunday or Saturday morning. So yeah, take it easy, lower the intensity down, and just enjoy running this week. And try to keep yourself from racing or trying to get a PR or chasing that Strava segment that you've been looking for, because your legs are going to feel a little bit fresher because we've toned down the volume, we've toned down the intensity. So just keeping the mindset, I'm just enjoying running and I'm saving the racing for race day. All right, 3.5 miles into the run, and time for tip number 3. Number 3, prioritize your sleep. Listen, this week, we need to get to bed on time and kind of try to wake up on a regular schedule. We need to bank some hours of sleep, especially if you're one of those people that kind of gets nervous and anxious on race day and may not sleep as well the night before. Now's the time to bank some of those hours and get that rest in, okay? So prioritize sleep this week. We want to get to the race day and to the start line fresh and ready to go. All right, we're almost halfway through these tips. If you're finding this helpful, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. All right, tip number 4. Very important, we hydrate this week. Listen, contrary to whatever is pushed to you from Gatorade commercials and Pedialyte and whatever else kind of crap that they're trying to sell us, it's impossible to hydrate quickly. It takes time. So we've got to start early this week. And we want to start early in the day. So we need to be drinking, I'd say at minimum, 100 ounces of water a day. We want to start early. And you want to stop drinking sometime around 6 or 6:30. Because the last thing we want to do is be waking up all night, interrupting the sleep from the previous step and counteracting this whole thing. So drink early, drink often, and let's get hydrated before we step up to the start line. All right, number 5, nutrition. It's very important this week that we don't try anything new. Listen, the last thing you want to do is upset your stomach and kind of put yourself in some kind of a digestive tailspin. So stick to what you know. Make sure we're eating. Make sure you're getting the right stuff into your body. You got to feed the machine the fuel that it needs for this coming weekend. But make sure we stick to what we know, and things that aren't going to upset the stomach and the digestive system, so that when we wake up on Saturday or Sunday morning for race day, we're set, we're ready to go, and we don't have to worry about trouble down below. Tip number 6, listen, we need to stretch and stay loose. So this would be my advice. Every evening, take about 15 to 20 minutes. Get up off the couch while you're watching TV or doing whatever you do in the evening, and break out your good old buddy, the foam roller. You know, grab a lacrosse ball. That lacrosse ball is good for just rolling back and forth on the soles of your feet a little bit, especially if you stick that sucker in the freezer for a little bit, get it nice and cold. Then use that foam roller on the legs, front, back, your backside. We want to stay nice and loose. We want to get those muscles to stay nice and loose. We don't want to get stiff. So, and that there's a tendency for that. A lot of what you've been doing to flush out the inflammation in your muscles from all your training is getting back out there and running. And now that we've decreased the volume and intensity, there's a chance you're going to get stiff if we're not moving and sitting around. So take the opportunity every evening, get down on the floor with the foam roller, and just get a little stretch in, roll it out, and that way we're nice and limber for race day. All right, I'm back at home. 8 miles are done, and it's time for the last tip, tip number 7. And listen, this is the most important one. If you're looking to squeeze everything out of the preparation that you've done for this training cycle, then this is a must-do. You've got to plan and mentally prepare for everything that's going to happen on race day. What do I mean by that? Sit down, piece of paper, and go through every minute from the time you wake up until the time you're going to toe the starting line. Write down what you're going to do, what your plan is, and how you're going to do it. And then from mile 0 to the finish line, write down your plan. What your pace is going to be, what you're hoping to feel like, what your thoughts are going to be. I write all of it out. The more prepared you can be, the better you're going to be. And I do this several days beforehand. That way I can go over it a couple times and I can visualize what's going to happen. I guarantee you this is going to take it to the next level as far as your race performance. And I'm going to make another video this week and go through my process getting ready for this half marathon this weekend, step by step. Once that's done, I'm going to link it and it'll be right up here. But that's tip number 7. Plan and prepare. So 7 tips. Hope that's helpful, and hope you have the best race you've ever had.